On this episode, I travel back in time with the coolest guy from 1994. His name is Josh, and he's still cool. Josh is one of those people that has an incredibly infectious personality. When you're in his presence, you just feel your best. And I found out on this episode that's because he's always been 100% authentically Josh. Success in a blended family that has multiple marriages, divorces, plus being divorced himself requires a tremendous amount of communication and authenticity to work. Throughout all of this, Josh was given great examples on how to manage life. Real life, warts and all. And that's only done through examples of authenticity and communication, surprisingly. We also talk about in the year 2022, to remain at the top of your cool game, you better have some sweet kicks. Let's jump in. Everybody, welcome to a moderately good podcast. Thank you for coming back. I know you're all coming back. You've told all your friends. We're growing at this rapid rate I can't even control. But before I get started, I'm going to give my usual shout outs. Above Average Joe Media, he does all my film work and all my cool Instagram stuff. We have my guy Wish Pocket, which is Jason, that I always give shout outs to for doing such a great job on my audio. No Names Originals, that's my guy Jaron. He does all the custom clothing and all the custom painting and stuff like that. Really cool stuff, really cool art. Support local North Carolina artists. Not here, but like support like a guy trying to do his thing. It's cool. And then last but not least, my guy Mo. He has the Go Bubble app. That is the detailing service to your home. Jason raves about it, says it's fantastic. And if you use the code Go Moderately, he gives you some percentage off. I don't know what it is, but it's more than you got right now. I mean, I'm assuming. When I met this dude, when I say somebody's fucking cool, like just fucking cool, just like I was starting my job at Casa Olay. And if anybody knows about Casa Olay, where we happen to be from, it was in a mall. And it was known for its good looking dudes that are waiters. And then all the little mall girls would come in and get free chips and salsa and water that was really Sprite. Okay. And Josh, my guest Josh, was just the coolest. I thought you were the coolest. Say hi, Josh.
Hi.
He's like, I didn't know you were gonna start with such strong compliments.
I was like, damn, man, I'm a little embarrassed.
Yeah. And and this is their words, not mine. If you heard an awkward white girl laugh in the background, it's my guy G. Say hi, G.
Hi, G.
Hi, G. G was also really fucking cool.
Oh yeah.
But he worked at Red Lobster.
Yeah.
Not Casa Olay.
Red Lobster.
Red Lobster.
Yeah, but did you worked at Casa Olay?
No, I was just there all the time.
He was across the parking lot.
Just Lance worked at both.
Yeah.
Because Lance got fired from Casa Olay.
Did he?
I don't know.
Am
I making up? I don't know. We have to call that guy and ask him, I guess. Text him. Anyways, Josh, how you doing, dude?
I'm good, dude.
Good. So before we get into all the like stuffy stuff or just talk about whatever, tell people kind of like what your job is, what you do for people.
Yeah, man. So live here in Austin. I help people buy houses, dude. I've been doing it for 20 years.
How's that going?
I fucking love it.
No, but I mean, how's that going? The whole buying houses thing, like, because you're getting people approved, right?
Yeah, I get people approved. We get the loan for them. We get them approved to buy houses. We refinance them, and all over Texas, not just Austin. But primarily I focus in Austin. In my 19th year doing it, and it's been it was a cool story when I got into the business. I'll share with you guys later about it. But I mean, it was it's something that a lot of people don't love what they do, and I fucking love what I do, dude.
That's
fucking
cool,
awesome.
Man. Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah,
It's a cool thing. Every day, like, hey, we're closing tomorrow, and I'm like, sweet. There's just so much excitement and emotion with it.
So for people in Austin and maybe the surrounding areas of Texas that are trying to buy a home right now, what is some advice checklists? What's something you could suggest that would help them make that process easier, better, smoother? Like, what's your recommendation?
Yeah, man. Gosh, I mean, it's the first thing is to talk to someone like me. You know,
definitely.
Step number one.
Remember how cool,
talk to Josh.
Hey, remember how cool I told you he was? Talk to somebody as cool as this guy.
No, it's you know, the last 2 years has been kind of bonkers in our business.
That's kind of I kind of was curious about that, and then
Yeah.
maybe you can expand off of that to now.
So
Right?
it's been a little crazy. So, you know, I mean, people that want to go to these, you know, Rocket Mortgages and other places, you got to go local. Even if you don't use me, find someone local.
Why is that?
We know the market. We know the market. We understand the neighborhoods. We understand the street you live on. You know, we know the trends that's going on. The biggest thing is these out-of-town lenders, man. They can't get an appraisal done for 2 months, so you can't you miss closings. So
A lot of them are that, right?
yeah, it's pretty bad, man. It's
Do you-
I save about 3 to 4 deals a month from big national lenders because they can't get them closed. It's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. You know, it's talk to someone like me. We'll get you, you know, where we need to be and get you a price range. But it's also talking to a badass real estate agent that knows their shit. I will tell you, being a realtor right now is the hardest thing, I think.
Why specifically? Why is
You
that?
know, you know, you got 1 of 40 people making fucking offers right now. I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy right now in this.
There's still a lot. There's still a lot of homes
You know-
getting a lot of offers.
It's shifted. So this conversation is 6 weeks ago.
Uh huh.
This past 6 weeks, we have done a 180-degree turn. Now houses are starting to sit on the market a little bit.
Yeah.
Buyers are, you know, getting a better. They're 1 of 3 people, not 1 of 40.
Yeah.
So it's shifted, which is good. Man, the last 2 years has sucked for buyers, man. I mean, honestly, it would suck to buy a house unless you got 50% to put down. It was just nuts. So
So I have a question. So, like when we're recording this will air like way later. So what's kind of, it'd be cool to see kind of what's your prediction on what the market is going to do
Yeah.
next. And then when this podcast comes out, you're like, well,
told you.
yeah. And I could just use that little part and be like, look, fortune teller. That's why you go local. That's
Yep.
why you go local.
Oh, yeah.
So
Where do you think it's going to go?
you know, I think the market is going to slow down a bit. You know, the last 2 years we've had 20 to 30% appreciation. I'm sure you got your tax bill. You're like, holy fucking shit.
I was more like, holy fucking shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, my house like increased in value crazy, but like I also have a homestead and all
Yeah.
that stuff, right? Yeah.
So it protects you a bit, right?
Yeah.
The homestead does protect you.
Is that right? Do I understand that right?
No, that's right.
Okay.
No, that's
'Cause
right.
I'm
Totally,
not-
dude, you're on
Hey,
point.
I would kind of
you
say
want a job?
Well, I said it with confidence, and then I was like, I don't know if I know what I'm talking about. Anyways, go ahead.
No, it does, dude. It you know, it saves people some money. But gosh, I kind of watch different economists, right? And they talk about locally, we're not going to slow down. Now, we're not going to continue with this 25 to 30% appreciation, but I think our market, people want to live in Austin, Texas.
Why do you think so?
Man, it's a cool town.
I mean, I know.
No,
what-
I mean,
know-
it really, I think it's got jobs. I think it's got culture. I think it's got one of the best fucking food place. I mean, food and beverage here is insane. I mean, there's so many restaurants. You've got lakes, you got rivers, you got trails, you got music. I mean, you got all this crazy stuff.
Hey,
Throw
by
in-
the way, if you don't live in Austin, don't get any ideas. Like he's
yeah,
he's
don't
lying.
fucking move
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
It's
Stay
all
the fuck
horrible.
away.
It's horrible.
Get the
Don't
fuck
move.
out.
He's talking about Alaska right now.
South Dakota, South Dakota.
Austin, Alaska. He's talking about.
Especially all you hippies from fucking California.
So, no, man.
I just like what I love. Okay, one, I've already told G that I love his laugh. But what I really love about it is the dichotomy between his regular voice and his laugh. Because his regular voice is very, very white, but then his laugh is very like white girl getting attacked by Barry White. Sorry,
So
dude.
true, so true, dude.
Point on.
I know. But I mean,
Jackass.
because every time I hear somebody come on the podcast and like now that like Jason, my sound guy, he'll talk about people's voices and people come on, you're like, oh my man, their voice is gonna sound really good on that podcast. Anyways,
Sounds good.
I digress. So you were saying
Yeah,
like
man,
why people want to live in Austin, Alaska?
Yeah.
It's not the same as Texas.
It is not the same. You know, and throw in 85 companies are moving here. I mean, dude, they're going to bring so many jobs here. So, you know, I think it's a great place. And
It is a great place.
And it's
Isn't George?
unfortunately though, it's going to turn into a little California-ish.
Yeah.
I think. You know, I mean, the values and it's going to push people out, which sucks. You know, people are going to have
Unless
to
you
move.
want to go out.
Well, yeah, unless you want to go out, unless you want to live in the country. But I mean,
That's
Dripping Springs, dude, is the new fucking thing, dude.
Well, in Georgetown, like booming, like too.
Georgetown used to be like you had to live, you know, average age was 87. Now it's fucking, you know, families are living there. Have you gone to downtown Georgetown Square?
Oh, dude, it's
fucking
hopping.
on point.
Shout out to Mesquite Creek Outfitters. Whoa.
Boom.
Yes.
I'm gonna buy that hat.
Love that place. Oh. Anyways, so I mean, you predict that the market is it. I think it's only going to trend up, right?
It is, man.
Maybe
You know,
it's not as rapidly as it was, but it's just only going to trend up.
it's only going to trend up. You know, the bummer is, you know, the people that are trying to buy their first house, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough.
Yeah.
You're going to have to push out. You're going to have to look at Taylor or other areas.
You got to
Kyle,
build a little
Buda.
equity, right? Like you got to get a home. And would it be wrong to say like your home's like a giant savings account?
It totally is.
Yeah.
I mean,
And so,
dude,
like-
I mean, this last year, people have seen 40 in some neighborhoods, 40 and 50% growth. I mean, so their house they bought. I've had clients, y'all, that bought a year and a half ago for $400,000, and now their home's worth $750,000. And I mean, to them, I mean, that's huge. That's like, I mean, that's equity. That's money that you've never just seen before, you know. So
My house doubled.
yeah,
I mean,
crazy.
I felt like the smartest person on the planet, even though I was just the luckiest person on the planet. You know what I mean?
You know,
It's like this is always my idea.
Someone told me, dude, never fucking sell. Whatever you can
Rent.
do. No.
Oh, no
if you
rent?
buy a house and you want to buy something else, try to keep it. Whatever you can do.
The first house.
The first house.
Yeah. So
Like, I still have my first house in Pflugerville, Texas.
Yeah. Like my plan is when I get out of this house to keep this house.
Yeah.
And rent it or
Totally.
whatever. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, great.
Advice number one.
Yeah. Ah.
Boom.
Ooh. Advice number one. There'll be two more. Hey, you better start thinking. So let's get back to like how cool you are. So
I thought that shit was over with.
no, it ain't over. It ain't over. I didn't forget. Like so, me growing up in a really small town, and working in a place like Victoria, and being in this environment where we made tables with Casa Late, and it was like, I mean, there was guys and girl waiters, but it was mostly like guys, and it really kind of was like a little thing that people would come in there. I mean, you had regulars, right?
Of course. Yeah.
I mean, and like, if there was a movie written about like waiters, like in the wait staff or what,
There
like,
is one. It's
There
called
is.
Waiters.
yeah, but it's called waiting.
Waiting, you're
motherfucker.
right.
So fuck you and fuck you. Okay. But my version of that movie, you would be like the good-looking guy, it sounds weird that every girl of every age wanted like sit in Josh's section, it felt like. But he just like he had a way with kids, and you had a way with girls and moms, and like you were everything that like I wanted to be in a waiter. And so I guess my real question is that who you were, or was that like what you were portraying to kind of protect being like insecure or whatever? Like did you grow into that? Did you adapt to that out of high school? Did you go to like high school and then you got to there and you're like, oh, I can be like, what was that like for you? Because I think a lot of kids evolve, they have that evolution of stuff, and I was just curious. That was my perspective, right? But were you as cool on the inside?
Oh man, that's a deep question. You know, I feel like I've always had this positive energy around me. Like I've always been this just excited person, you know, as a human, and I've always lived life that way. So I've always lived life loud as shit. Like my laugh is loud, I talk loud, and that hasn't changed. Like,
But it always felt acceptable. Like it always felt like,
which is kind of weird because normally I'd be like, "Shut the fuck up, you're too loud, dude." But I mean, that's just kind of how I've lived life that way my entire life. Like it's kind of crazy, you know. I always tell people waiting tables is sales. it's kind of a sales job, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're selling queso. You're trying to upgrade them
Oh,
to the buffet.
Hey, oh, by the way, he was good at that too.
But I mean, it was good money, but it made me realize that I liked dealing with people, and I liked, you know,
And you were good at it.
I was genuine.
Yeah.
I felt like I was a genuine person early on in life. So I think people accepted my loudness and my quirkiness. I mean, I appreciate you saying I'm cool. I'm not the cool fucking cat. I mean, I felt, you know, I was the dude in the fucking band, man. I played the drums. I was in the band.
No, but that's what was so crazy. It was like, even though it's guys in the band, he's playing the coolest fucking instrument, the drums.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
All right, so he's playing the
That's
drum.
true. That's true.
You know what I mean?
Snare drum and
But I mean, I just remember like I remember being in high school and I was in the band because like I just didn't have anything to do, right? Like I wasn't good at playing my instrument and stuff. And then I started working there, and then y'all guys had been in band, right? Or were you still in high school when you were working there?
Yeah, no, I started there. That was my first job ever was Little Caesars. I was like fucking pizza and worked there, and then I started to bust tables with Robert Jimenez.
Oh, Robert.
Robert Jimenez,
Damn.
and we were bus boys, and so we bust tables there until I turned 18, and then when I turned 18, I waited.
Were you a busboy when I started, or were you already a waiter when I started? Can we do this math real quick? Is it quick math?
I don't remember, dude.
I started in like 1994, I think.
Okay, then I was waiting tables.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
'Cause
So I
like,
wasn't the bus.
Nobody,
I wasn't
nobody makes Josh bust
No.
tables. And let me tell you something. The only time Josh busts tables is when he wanted to sit down at another table. That guy, hey, he was like a vulture at the hostess stand. He's like, oh, table 2? I got one.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the bus boys felt so incompetent because all your tables would be bust all the time.
Do you remember the smoking section though?
Oh, yeah.
The whole fucking. I mean, it was crazy that I forget that you could smoke. You know, you're like, hey, let me go get my fajitas at the buffet, and then let me go, you know, toke a cigarette while I smoke. Yeah. It's
And the
crazy.
greatest part about that smoking section, it was like just like a regular section, except it was called smoking.
Yeah, there was no
There's
borders.
no glass. There's no nothing.
Nothing.
It's just like that's where we put the losers. and oh, by the way, that's where we rolled silverware.
Yeah, that's where we rolled silverware, and
And
we
probably
smoked
have some
cigarettes.
sort of like we probably smoked cigarettes.
Hell yeah.
Oh man. See, that's why those guys like cool. So did you feel that way inside? Like, did you have that confidence, or were you just kind of faking it to make
Man,
it?
you know, I feel like I went through waves in my life of confidence, right? You know, if my life is good, my confidence levels is fucking through the roof. If I'm not happy with myself, if I'm off, dude, I am like in the floor. Like my confidence level is not there. And I've seen it through my life, you know, as a father, as a husband, you know, I can see the ups and downs that I can tell when I'm off. When I'm off, I give myself a break. So, and I've kind of done this now that I'm 46 years old, right? I allow myself to have a shitty day. Like I wake up and I'm fucking off, and I'm off the entire day. I allow it, you know, but I don't keep it. Like it doesn't last. I don't let a shitty day last for a week. It lasts for a fucking day, and then I wake up the next morning. I'm like, let's go life.
You have to, right?
You have to, man. It's you know, I try to live a life as positive as I can, but I will tell you, you know, it's hard, man. It's hard sometimes, self-confidence wise. You know, it's you know, being a dad, being a friend, being a husband. You know, you want to try to be on point all the time, and it's hard sometimes. You know, I'm in my second marriage, and it's great. Love you, Natalie. But you know, it's kind of hard sometimes. You know, it's hard to when you're off. It's hard, but I don't know. You know, back to your point of when I was younger, I don't know, man. I was always a happy fucking dude. I mean,
So it was genuine.
it was genuine.
Yeah.
It was genuine.
And I really I feel like that I've only recently kind of found that, discovered that, feel that, you know what I mean? And so it's really cool to think that other people figured it out like way before I did. And I feel like I figured it out way too late. you know, that you can like, it's the thing, like you said, like if you have a bad day, you're allowed to have a bad day, allow bad things to happen. I mean, but you're still here, right? So like you just next day, just like, okay, boom. How can I move forward past this?
Right.
How quickly can I get past what's bothering me?
Right.
You know what I mean? Sometimes something will bother me for 2 or 3 days, but I'm trying to make it the shortest period of time possible. I'm assuming that's kind of what you're saying, right?
No, it totally is. Yeah. No, it is. You know, you just gotta push through it, and it's hard. It's hard sometimes, you know, but there's so many people around us, you know, that we got that look up to you. You know, you don't even realize it that they do. You know, you don't realize that, you know, when you come in and you're, you know, I've got a team of eight people that work for me, you know, and if I come in a shitty mood, guess what? That meeting is going to go to shit. So,
are you saying like that kind of you compartmentalize a little bit too? Like you go, okay, well, I have this worry, but this will affect what I'm doing here, so I'm just going to put that to the side for right now.
I try to, but man, I'm human, you know,
like everybody else. Yeah,
it's hard as shit to do that. You know, I mean, it's hard when you wake up off, and I tend to be reactive sometimes. Like something happens and I get fucking pissed, and then I feel like I need to like express it, like say fuck, and then I'm cool, and then I'm like, okay, that's what I needed. I needed to release and be. Once I did that, I'm like, all right, I'm cool now. I'm cool. Let's deal with the fucking problem.
All right.
So that's work. That's fucking life. That's everything. I feel like but sometimes, dude, I feel like that can be a negative.
How?
With your spouse.
Yeah.
You know, something happens and you're like, fuck. And she's like, what the fuck, man? And I'm like, oh, I just needed to release and now I can compromise.
Right.
You know, it's hard for me to compromise until I just need to let it out.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's acceptable. I mean, I don't think it has to ask too much, as long as your partner understands that, right?
Yeah.
And understands exactly what it is.
Right.
Like a lot of times, like with like my girlfriend, when she's in some sort of mood that doesn't seem like a normal mood, I will just go to her. I go, hey, what's going on right now? Like, what your body language is different. If everything's okay, then I'm just misreading this. But if everything's not okay, I want to understand what's going on right now, so that next time it happens, I can kind of know how to like approach you, right? But you gotta over communicate that shit, and sometimes that's hard. And sometimes it feels like it's not even worth it, like or not worth it, but like it's like, why should I have to over communicate this?
Yeah, but you know, I mean, it's you know when you talk about it, it's. Sometimes, though, when you bring it up, they're not ready to talk about it. So,
yeah, but also they have to go, hey, I'm not ready to talk about it.
Yeah.
And
they're like, time out.
Hey, and then you have to be cool with them not wanting to talk about it.
And that's my hard problem. Like, I'm ready to, like, I want to fix it. Like, let's talk about it. Let's fix it. Let's move on. And they're like, give me a fucking day.
But that's the whole thing, is you set a time to come back to it. Because someone like you, like, you're like, no, I want to fix it right now. So, like, if they go, well, you're just going to have to wait, it's like fucking forever, right? But if they go, at 5 o'clock tomorrow, we're going to meet.
Right.
Then you can go, okay, at 5 tomorrow we're going to meet. What can I think about? How can I have a good conversation at 5?
Right. So a few years ago, I mean, so I'm a blended family, right? So
oh yeah,
it's hard.
I wanted to talk about, because you're from a blended family.
I grew up in a blended family,
and you are now in a blended.
And now in a blended.
Yeah.
The blended family.
Yeah, dude. That's a whole fucking podcast.
It's like just blending. They're blending on blending.
No, this is like 9 different fucking families. Like, serious. I'm not joking. I'm just
9 families.
It's a lot.
Well, y'all Irish?
I mean, no. We're just Catholic.
Yeah. Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah,
sex. I'm kidding.
Anyways, go. You said you're from a blended family.
So yeah, from a blended family, and Natalie, my wife, right? So we, it's hard sometimes to deal with the parenting side, to deal with the exes, and so we were
both married before.
We were both married before.
Okay.
For like 9 to 10 years, and then we both got divorced around the same time. We worked together. We met at the same company. We're not looking, and just found each other, and it just turned into amazingness.
Look,
so
I mean, like,
it's cool.
There's people on the planet everywhere. You can meet them anywhere. Like, where you meet them is not really relevant, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So, but we gotta kind of, I call it a marriage coach.
Y'all
And
did.
We did.
Before y'all got married? Or when y'all got married?
We were married, and about 2 years ago, and it wasn't because most people like have people because their marriage is going to shit, and it wasn't that. It was
You want to make
wanted
this
to be
work?
like better, like
Yeah.
we wanted to be better people, like because we found that when we fought ugly, and we wanted to fight better.
Well, and both y'all had already been through a divorce before.
We did, and
so
we
you
were
know
like,
what that looks like. So you're
Yeah.
like kind of like, I don't want to do that again. Right. Yeah.
Right. So we found this lady, and a few of our friends that are married had used her, and dude, it was on point. It taught me how to repair a fight. So meaning you have a fight, how do you repair it? Because dude, it's very easy to like have a big ass fight and you're an asshole and she's an asshole and and you keep all this. How do you come back and repair?
So really quickly, so how do you do that?
You come back and say, acknowledge, hey, we both disagree. We're both not at a place right now to talk about it.
Great.
But in 2 days, I want to talk about it.
Yep.
So we set a timeline where we are going to talk about it, when we're not fucking amped up, we're not pissed off. Because when you're angry, I'm an emotional dude. I scream. I came from a screaming family.
Yeah.
They yell, and it's not like
They're
abusive.
Catholic. They're Catholic.
Well, not. Yeah.
Oh, that's not the same thing. Oh, okay.
But so we learned really how to repair, and dude, it's been a game changer for us.
That's good, bro.
It's good. It's fucking amazing, actually.
Well, I mean,
I'm not saying we don't fight. I'm not saying we're humans, right? I mean, we both get pissed off or emotional or stuff, but it's been really good, and and it's been really good for our relationship. And I've now used it in work. I've used it with friendships. Like I've morphed it, and not just into the people not just my wife.
So there's a guy named Neil Strauss. He wrote this book called The Game, right? And the book is about like how to pick up chicks. Right? He was a world-renowned pickup artist, right? But when you read the book, I really like him as a writer, and so I just wanted to see what the book was about, even though I'm not trying to pick up a chick, right? And the book was about people. It wasn't about like picking up girls. It was really about people and relationships and how you interact with people and how that kind of works. And a lot of getting along is communicating, right? Compromising, and like being able to communicate with another, have those conversations, you interact with somebody, right? And so it was really cool to read it because it was a lot like what you're talking, which is just a lot of what life is.
Right.
Of interact with your employees, your wife, your kids, whatever, right? Your 9 families that you're part of.
Yeah. Yeah. What was the name of the book?
It's called The Game.
The Game.
Yeah.
All right.
But I when I started, I'd wanted to read it for a really, really long time. And I'm gonna be honest, the reason I wanted to read it was I was like, I want to see if this motherfucker knows anything I don't know.
What is he saying?
But he doesn't. If you understand what your lady that y'all are working with, if you understand what she's saying, you would understand what he's saying, right? And so the book is not necessarily. Yes, there is like stuff that they talk about, like picking up girls, but it's all just wrapped around like relationships and conversation and all that kind of stuff. Communication. It's not anything. And so that was what's so cool about reading the book is that, like it was really about communication and how you communicate with people.
Right.
Hey, it was waiting tables is what it was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, totally, dude. I mean, I tell all 3 of my kids, wait tables.
So why
you
does
turn
this
18.
when they turn 18.
Mm-hmm.
When they turn 18. I'm like,
So, okay.
number one.
Well, hey, which one's working at Whataburger and like shoes?
All right, so Carson, both boys have worked at Whataburger. So
Okay, so
Dominic is Natalie's son.
Uh-huh.
He's a senior. He's about to turn 18. Carson's my son. He is a junior. He's more of the shoe guy. He followed Dominic's. So Dominic worked at Whataburger. Now Carson works at Whataburger.
Got it.
And then my daughter Kennedy is 20. She's in cosmetology school.
Nice.
And has moved back in for the past couple of months, which has been great.
Yeah.
She kind of half with our house, half with her mom's. But it's to me it's a bonus. I never expected her to come back. She moved out when she was 18. I actually wanted her to. She moved into an apartment half a mile away. And I wanted her to create her own independence, so I thought that was important that she move out. But cost of living, everything else. She's trying to finish up school. So I've got, my daughter back in half the time. I've got, Carson and Dominic, and then we host a soccer player from Vegas. He plays for the Austin FC's academy. So we got a full fucking house, dude. He just turned 15. So we got a 15, 17, 18, and a 20-year-old. It's fucking nuts.
All right. So if I was going to do like a waiter draft, right? Which one of your boys am I picking first? Which one's going to be the better waiter?
Probably Carson.
I mean, you're an expert in waiters. So
I think Carson. I mean, Dominic, I love you, brother. I just think that, I think Carson that's probably he's probably more of a sales guy.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I mean,
okay. And
they're so
forgive
different.
me
They're so
if
different, but they're so alike too.
Forgive me if I get confused. Whose kid is Carson?
Mine.
Okay. So is he like you?
He's fucking exactly like me.
Okay. And then Dominic is
Natalie's
your
son.
your new wife.
Well, I mean, we're
Well, I mean, but yeah, your wife and I, right?
Yes.
You're not your newest wife, like you have a bunch of.
You're new.
No, that I mean, well, I mean, she's not old. We don't want to
She's
do that.
not old.
Yeah,
No,
she's not
no,
old. Okay, so and
no.
that's hers.
Yes.
Do you feel like you have any effect on Dominic?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel.
That's my boy.
I will tell you, any blended family, I think where people fuck up.
Okay. Well, wait.
Okay. Let's not go back. We'll go back.
No. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. Little Scotty here. If you like the podcast, be sure to hit the subscribe button if you're on YouTube and follow if you're on Spotify. And go to AMGP store to get cool shirts like this one. I'd really like a bigger part on the podcast. I mean, I want a bigger part. This is both.
You don't need a bigger piece of paper than that.
No, I'm just going to do like little small math.
Okay, all right, tick
So
mark.
I don't know even how we got it. So we're going back over. So like just really quickly. Okay. So mom and dad get married.
Mom and dad get married,
Have
right?
you?
Cindy and Henry get married.
So there's a J. Okay. Anyway, so
All right.
they have you.
Have me.
Okay.
They get divorced.
Dad gets
Super
remarried.
old. Dad gets remarried.
Two
has
kids.
2 kids.
Okay. That's
Travis and Sarah.
plus 2 over here.
Right? Yep.
Yeah.
Mom gets remarried around my 8th grade year. My dad gets remarried the 3rd time
Okay.
around my 4th grade year.
Okay. How many kids did you get there?
There's 6 of us total.
At that point?
At that point. So my stepmom, Kathy, has 3 kids, plus me, plus my 2 half brother
Yes.
and sisters.
Yes. Got it.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there's 6 of us.
Got it.
So I go home to my mom where I live normally.
She at this point
Only
she
child.
has you.
Only me.
Okay.
I go to my dad's. We're
And
like
there's 6 kids.
shotgun fucking last Coca-Cola. Shotgun this seat. I mean, like there's 6 of us. Like there's a lot of us.
How was that for you? Like going from your mom's to your dad. Which one did you
was great.
prefer?
It was.
I mean, and as far as-
they both brought me happiness.
And-
My mom.
Well, you
gave
got a
me-
lot of time to yourself.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I got to spend time with. I mean, I talk to both my parents all the fucking time. Like I went on a walk today. I called my dad. Yesterday, I went and drove somewhere. I called my mom for 20 minutes. Like I'm close with both my parents. I talk to them multiple times a week, if I can. Sometimes shit happens, life happens, right? But I try to at least call both my parents once a week.
Okay, so really quickly, and maybe it doesn't matter at this point, and you can answer in that way. Do they not include you in any of their kind of bullshit, or do you like set up boundaries and go like, "Hey, I'm not talking to the other one," or does that not happen anymore because it's so?
Oh, it's so long, dude.
So long ago?
It's so long. I mean, no, I mean my dad and my mom are friends on Facebook. There's no animosity. There's nothing. I mean,
How old were they when they had you? Like how?
18 to 20. I mean, they were
yeah.
fucking babies.
Yeah.
They were babies.
Yeah.
So, dude, I mean, I don't know. I feel fortunate the life I grew up because I got to be an only child with my mom, and then I also got to be big family, 6 of us, and we grew up with not a lot of money, which was great because we still had happiness. Like there was still joy in our life, and so it was an amazing thing. And so my dad and Kathy, my stepmom, were married, and I guess 20 plus years, right? So, and then they They got divorced when I was in my, I was probably 26. And all the kids said, fuck you. Y'all can get divorced. We're still siblings. So to this day, we all still get together 2 to 3 times a year as a family. My ex-stepmom with her husband in a house, my dad and his wife, and all 6 of us, well, not 6, but I mean, all the kids plus siblings plus their kids, we all get a house together. We all get together multiple times a year, which is crazy that you would have that kind of thing.
So what makes it work?
We've said as kids, that's my brother, that's my sister, that's my sibling. Just because your relationship didn't work out doesn't fucking matter. My brother Robert changed his last name to my dad's last name because my dad made that much of an impact in his life. And at that point, his dad was not a part of his life. So, you know, it's kind of crazy. My brother Robert, who I talk to, I call him probably 2 to 3 times a week. We chit chat. He has the same last name as me, but he's my stepbrother. But it's just, it's a pretty cool thing when the kids said, you know what, we understand your marriage didn't work out. We're still a family. And we still make an effort every year to all get together. I mean, I drove here, dude, and I was on a text where my ex-stepmom's husband had a tumor. Roger.
Now husband?
Yeah, now husband.
Okay.
So Kathy's husband, Roger, had a tumor, and we're on a group text with her, my siblings, my dad, saying, hey, give us some prayers. We hope this isn't cancer. And I came here today, and there was no cancer. But, dude, I mean, you got ex people like all like chit-chatting, you know, and communicating and in a relationship together. It's pretty fucking amazing. Does that make sense?
No. It makes great sense. I was just thinking that most people don't grow up that way.
No.
And you kind of probably really don't know what it's like to grow up in a people that never got divorced, or, you know, like, right. And I wonder, I don't know, like, if your experience was better. Like, would you have not want to do it like any other way, do you think?
Totally. You know why? Because I feel like I know both sides. Like, I know the side where it was just my mom and I know the side where it was my step family and my half brother's step family. I mean, I know both sides, and you know what? I feel like I'm a better person because of my family. And I'm like, listen, I want every marriage to work, and you never to have to get divorced and have blended families.
I think that's a pretty understood thing, right? Like no one wants people to get divorced. Like,
right.
No one's wishing divorce.
Right.
Or you're a weirdo. You know what I mean? Nobody should be wishing that. But like, if you do get divorced, it doesn't mean that that's where, like, I don't know, everything ends, right? And so, like, I feel like what you're saying is that, like, you know, even though things kind of ended, it's just a new beginning. It's like it wasn't viewed as an ending. It was just like, okay, this is just something different now. But this is what this is.
It was something different, but it became a new norm, and it became, to me, a better norm.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like my life was better. I mean, if my parents never got divorced, I would never know Robert, Melissa, Brooke, Travis. I mean, all these. I mean, I wouldn't have them in my life, you know. And I don't know. I just feel like it made me a better father too, in regards to being a stepfather. You know, that's hard, dude. I mean, being a step parent is difficult. Dealing with you know, exes can be difficult. I mean, it's a lot, but I feel like I came into everything in life with a little bit of, I don't know, just
foresight.
Yeah.
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 Well, you had a fat dose of reality.
Yeah.
Right.
Of what reality is, like what family kind of really is, like a lot of times.
Right.
Like if you have big families, there's going to be like kind of a lot of divorce. There's going to be a lot of, you know, like there's going to be just things. Stuff happens. The more people you know, the more chances for accidents, horrible things, or great things, or wonderful things. I mean, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so, like, you know, my dad's like one of 7, so the family's like huge, and all kinds of things have happened. You know what I mean? And you have a blended family, and so like you're touched all these different people in different scenarios, so you're gonna have a lot of stuff happen. But I think that's what makes it cool. I think
It makes it amazing, dude. I mean, it makes me who I am as a. Makes me who I am as a person. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's hard to explain it. You know, Natalie came in. My wife Natalie came in where her parents were married for, you know, a long time, and for her mom had passed away from cancer, and so that's all she knew was no blended family, right?
Yeah.
So we come from her side where she's like no blended. To me, I'm like ultra fucking blended, and we get a blend, and you know, and that's. I feel like.
Did y'all talk about that, like when y'all went to counseling?
We talk about it today.
Yeah.
Like, it is the hardest thing in a marriage.
Because it's hard to. If you've never experienced the other side, it's hard to understand what that person's going through.
It is, yeah,
you know what I mean?
totally.
Especially,
Yes.
in my personal opinion, her coming from a family that's always been married to a family that did not understand like how, like if your parents have always been married, then it's always been okay. But if your parents haven't always been married, it's not always been okay. Even though if your parents are always married, it could not be okay. Right. But that's the view that it gets, and so then you go, oh, well, I don't know how to do this, and then you get worried about your marriage failing. I would even say, like, on some level, the fact that like some people, whether they come from families where they've been married for, like, their parents have been married forever, like it's like more pressure to stay married if you get married.
Right.
Would you agree?
Yeah. No, totally.
Yeah.
And then sometimes people compromise and stay married when they shouldn't.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's fucking marriage is hard. I mean,
I do talk about my marriage, but I don't. But I would say, this is just my opinion. Marriage is kind of like there's no manual. No one tells you how to do it. Like you don't know anything, and so then when you do it, you're like, well, I gotta figure out this fucking shit on the fly. Like I gotta figure this shit out. And for a moment you figure it out, and then other moments you don't figure it out, and then sometimes you really don't figure it out. You know what I mean? And like that's just kind of like it's hard because you've never done it before. But then once you've done it, hopefully you go, okay, I learned this, and this. I need to work on this. I need to be more like this. You're smart enough to get someone to talk to work y'all through. I'm assuming like probably which was a big difference of her coming from that.
It wasn't that, honestly, that was not the big piece, dude.
What was the big, if you don't mind me
Yeah,
asking,
I mean, the big piece is parenting as a step parent and parenting with exes. That
It's
is
hard.
the fucking hardest, dude.
it's like chess.
It's like fucking chess.
Nobody knows how to play. Hey, I'm convinced that nobody knows how to play chess. They just like, they're like, checkmate. You're like, is that a real thing? Okay. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, okay, you win. Like that, I don't know if you can do that move. I don't even know what the moves are.
Yeah.
Like that's what it feels to like have like get divorced, have an ex, have to deal with. Like I don't have kids inside of like exes, so it's a whole nother level of like stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's but I will tell you, you know, if you can figure it out, you know, the cool thing is to see, you know, like the genuine love you can create between a stepchild and a parent like Dominic and I, right? I mean that relationship, how much that's grown from meeting that Dominic is Natalie's son, right?
Yeah.
You know, like how that relationship has grown from when I met him 9 years ago.
But you also have to have like his dad has to understand like you're a good dude and you have the best intentions for him.
Right.
And that requires, so now you got to communicate with him. Then you got to communicate with his ex-wife, which is now your new wife or girlfriend, right? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like,
no, it's like a
puzzle.
It's a puzzle. It really is. But I mean, if you look at 100 people, I mean, I would bet to say that 70% of them are divorced or come from a divorced family or a blended family, and they all have to figure shit out. So every one of us are pretty much in that same boat.
I have a real quick question. When you got I mean, maybe not, but when you got divorced like the first time, was there any part of you that like kind of wanted to figure out like kind of what was my fault in this, so maybe I don't do this again? Did you think about that at all?
That's a really good question. No, it wasn't fault because I don't think
maybe
divorce
fault
is
a bad
fault.
word, but
No, I don't think divorce is fault. I mean, we all are ourselves, and marriage goes to where, I mean, relationships do what they do.
yeah,
My thing was, I looked at how I could be a better father, because I think a divorce kind of turns you into being a better father, because you know why? You see your kids half the time, and you fucking cherish every fucking moment you're with them.
Hey, isn't it kind of shitty that has to happen?
It's shitty. You're right.
You know what I mean?
What? It's shitty that it turned. Me having to go through that had to be to make me a better. And G and I talked about this today, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, you're going to be a better dad because of this. Because you know why? You're going to miss the fuck out of them. And when you see them and someone says, hey, you want to go hang out? You're like, no, I'm good. I'm just going to watch fucking, Star Wars with my kids. Because you know why? I want to be with them. It's made me a better father through this. I also knew my non-negotiables as a husband. Like when I met Natalie, like I knew the stuff that mattered to me. Like I knew the stuff that I didn't want to.
Those are things you didn't want to compromise.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're a better father, you're a better husband, because you're like, I don't want to go through this shit again, but I also want to be a better person. So I think the hardest part when you're married is you get content. And you just kind of just go through the flow, and you're like, we're married. I take the trash out. You do the dishes. I do this. And it can very easily turn into that every time. And you gotta be aware of that.
You gotta be present.
You have to be present, dude. You gotta fucking hold her hand. Like, we're watching a movie. Hey, babe, let me hold your hand. Like,
yeah.
You gotta fucking. It's work.
Hey, let me. I think about this a lot. Like, do you know? Like, okay, if this is just for I don't know. Do you know the value of just like kind of doing the dishes? The value.
Oh, yes.
Right. Like think about it this way. If I take one more thing off my wife or girlfriend's plate, that is just a little bit more time that she might be interested in doing some hanky-panky.
Y'all motherfuckers ain't utilizing your kids enough.
My kids 1.5, G. What am I supposed to like? I mean, hell.
I need you to wash these fucking dishes.
But do you know what I'm saying?
She's in the kitchen. She ain't got no shoes on.
Like I'll give you my closest example right now. It's like a lot of times when I come home from work, my daughter and my girlfriend, she's already given her a bath. And so I'll come upstairs. I'll come upstairs and I know not to go in the bathroom because like she'll just fucking lose her shit, right? So what I do is I check her room.
Your girlfriend or your daughter?
Though she's bathing her.
Okay, got it.
Right. So if I go in there, my daughter will be like, I want to get out of the bath and not take a bath. We don't want to go through all that, right? Yeah. So I'll look in her room and just like, it's not set up for going to bed. I'll set the whole room up, blah, blah, blah. And I try to do everything. So all my girlfriend has to do is just walk out and just put her right to bed.
Okay.
Because we're a fucking team. Mm-hmm. We're Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. And you got to be on the same page. You got to be running the same pattern.
Shut the hell up.
Look, I don't like them either, G. Okay. I hate them actually.
Well, I hate them more.
But like, how do you think I feel as a Texans fan right now? I'm overjoyed at this moment. Like when this airs, it'll be like way probably over. But like, man, that was a bullet.
Let me explain this to you. Yeah. I'm a Falcons fan.
Oh, sorry.
So I don't want to hear it.
Man, like, does your quarterback have a name, or is it just like the number, like in old school Madden? Like, just
I want to hit you in the head.
It says QB 11.
I remember being in Vegas when your fucktards.
Oh my god!
Could not win the game.
I want to hit myself in the face.
Yes,
now. Dude, it was bad.
It was horrible.
Yeah, it was fucking stupid.
The worst game ever.
Shut the fuck up.
I hate your team.
Me too. Me too.
Who's your favorite team?
Texans.
Yeah. I mean,
I was a Texans fan, and then they moved to Tennessee, and I was like, all right, I'll be a fucking Tennessee fan.
What?
And I was a Titans fan for a period of time.
I think that's a fair transition.
I mean, that's what you do. I'm an
they
Astros fan.
left. So wait, Were you a Tennessee fan until
Oilers
the Houston
moved-
got the team back?
There you go.
Yes.
See, that's
Okay,
fair.
there you
Yeah,
go.
Yours
Okay,
wasn't
that's exactly
good.
what happened.
Okay,
Yeah.
now I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. You were a Houston
I
Oilers
was an Oilers fan, and then they moved to Tennessee.
and then you were a Texans fan.
You got it.
After
I got you.
they got a team.
Yeah.
I got. I
That's fair.
smell what you're stepping in now.
Yeah.
You can't be a fan of a team that ain't there.
I know. That's what I was saying, but he's explained it backwards. Freaking
Drinking some bourbon.
Yeah, bring dyslexia.
Okay. So I'm at 6 kids. Is that correct? Where we're at right now, is that 6 kids, or did we add any kids when you
For
were?
me?
Yeah.
You mean?
No.
Okay,
Yeah, total. So here's where I get the 9 families from. We're at friggin' Kennedy's christening.
My daughter.
Yeah, right.
My 20-year-old.
Your daughter.
Your 20-year-old. Yeah, we were at her
Yeah,
christening.
She was
Your birth daughter. Like she's
my first.
Yeah,
She's my
first baby,
Got it.
right? And so he's got 4 sets of friggin' grandparents total. No shit, 4 sets, right?
You can't go to a sporting event with these people. Like
Yeah,
you need like 104
4 sets.
seats.
But then her other side of the grandparents have like 4 different sets of fucking of friggin' grandparents also. So then the priest calls and says, "Hey, all grandparents come up and freaking put hands on the fucking baby."
So guess what he says?
And I said, "All of them?"
It's quiet. We're in a Catholic church.
Yeah.
And he's like, all of them?
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, how does this happen? You're gonna run out of fucking baby. He's like 2 fingers only on this fucking baby. That's where I get like 9 different freaking families. Cause no shit, they've got a blended family from like no other.
But it sounds like a lot of it's by choice, right?
No, it's not by
No,
choice.
but I don't think that's
What
a
do
bad.
you mean by that?
I don't
Like,
think
what
it's
do
a
you
bad
mean?
thing. So, like you kind of said, like, hey, when I don't know whose parents it was got divorced, we're still going to be brothers and sisters.
Yeah. So my dad and Kathy, my stepmom, when I was in my 20s, said, "Hey, we're getting divorced," and all of us kids said, "It doesn't fucking matter."
Yeah, so, like-
we're still kids.
Yeah,
we're
so-
still siblings. Like I still every day I talk to all my siblings. Like it doesn't matter that we're not blood. We're still.
You're choosing your tribe. You're choosing your
Yeah,
circle. You're choosing
totally.
the time. You're choosing who you spend time with.
Yeah.
That means it's important to you.
Totally.
It's
Yeah.
great. That's kind of
But
what
I
that's
think
what
the
family. That's what really what family should kind of be, right?
But the quirk with us is that we all still get together where my ex-stepmom and her husband and my dad and his wife, we all still get together. Like we stay in the fucking house together. It's the weirdest fucking thing in the world. It's the coolest thing in the world.
So I have experienced like my mom's dad, and then my mom's stepdad used to party in Victoria at what was that? It was like a country dance hall. It was on like 59. Oh fuck!
That's where I got my first MIP.
It was.
It was
Schrader Hall?
No, Schrader Hall.
No. It's the one in town, like right as you come into town, like in that shitty part, like right before you get to Navarro. It was like you would never have gone there, Josh. Let's like not. But like they used to like go like drink and take shots together and stuff like that. And I was like, so let me get this straight. Like, okay, one of y'all used to have sex with my grandmother, and now the new one has sex with my grandmother. And then y'all are like, well, let's just go exchange notes about sex with my grandmother. You know what I mean? And I was just like, but like they just got along, and I'm pretty sure, God bless my grandmother soul, but apparently she was a difficult lady. I'm sure they bonded over some crazy bullshit.
Hell yeah.
But that's kind of like, it's kind of being family. And they would kind of come to Thanksgiving together. Like it wasn't like a big deal. Like my dad is like one of 7, and there's a bunch of divorce and like we all just like kind of come together. And that's what, when you don't come from that, like my ex-wife didn't come from any of that. So it was very strange to her. You know what I mean? And like she didn't understand that like some of those families like that don't have boundaries all the time, or don't like, don't always say or do the right thing. Or there's a lot of people, you know what I mean? And you have to really remember that it's just a different dynamic.
Yeah. No, it totally is.
So how did being from a blended family like really aid you in? I kind of wonder if did you want like do you feel more okay, so your ex-wife, was she from a blended family?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Did she understand blended families?
Ish.
Okay. And so was that weird to you?
No.
That
I
she
mean,
didn't-
no. No, it wasn't. We both kind of grew up in blended families. I mean, that didn't impact our relationship.
That wasn't the reason y'all got divorced.
No.
I guess I wonder if just like it's very natural for you just maybe to function in a blended family, like
Oh, totally.
So like
Totally.
and you could even kind of venture to say that like the fact that you got divorced and then got remarried and it kind of became this was serendipitous in the sense of like
Oh, totally.
that's where you needed to be the best version of Josh.
Like, totally, man. I want to tell all three of my kids, I'm like, 2 of the 3 of y'all are going to get divorced. Probably all 3 of you. You're going to get married and get divorced. And
Unless you listen to me.
unless you wait till you're fucking older, don't get married when you're young.
Hey,
But
I look, I got married when I was 40.
you waited. That's right. You
Yeah,
did.
and look how that turned out.
But
Josh.
Goddamn.
yeah.
How old were you
I was in my 25
when you got married?
when I first got married.
And you 10 years?
Huh?
10 years you're married? How old were you married?
Yeah, about 10, 12 years. We were together 3 to 4 years and then married 10. So together 14-ish.
Do you mind saying your stats?
Nah, I got married 17 years ago, and I'm fucking 48 now, so 41 when I got married. No, sorry, 31.
I was like, God damn.
Yeah, 31.
How old are
yeah.
you, both?
G's not good at math.
Yeah, 30. Yeah.
Hey.
Fuck, you're not good at math. You're a goddamn
Whatever,
bank.
dude. That's what I fucking do
Yeah,
every
Homie's
day.
good at math. Like, I mean, fuck.
Jesus. I have to do amortization schedules and shit,
I
man.
don't even know what that means. Hell yeah.
Hey, they don't hate you. They don't mean
Hell yeah,
shit. Like, he's just
31.
making that. he's
Yeah,
making
yeah.
that
This-
fucking shit
that's not even a word.
I tell you that I can't spell it.
Punk. Hell yeah.
up. Well, good thing you're good at math.
Hell yeah.
So like
31.
So really go back. Now there's 6 kids. Like in that first part of the story, we're just the 6. Let's just. What is the total number of relative kids, like brothers and sisters, do you have? How many?
So there's 6 of us total.
I don't want to know semantics of like how they
Right.
got there. I just want to know the total number.
There's 6 of us total.
Okay.
There's 1 that we kind of don't communicate with. So there's 5 of us that are close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
It's not a story. I mean, it's just
Well,
you have a
look,
sibling sometimes, and it's just
this is what-
they've just not been a good person to
What-
your family, to you, and you've got to realize and say, enough's enough.
Well, I
And
just
that's
think
what's happened.
I think that
whatever.
every sibling that you add on is more of a chance of someone to just have a different personality, different perspective, something like that. And when you get into really big, especially like blended families, there's a lot of different views and ideas and things like that. And it's hard to navigate that whole thing. And then sometimes people feel like because this is my brother or my sister or this is what we've decided that I have to do something, and you don't have to do that.
Right? Agreed.
You know what I mean? Like because that's essentially what you're saying. Like I care about this person as a sibling, but I don't have to deal with that just because we are siblings.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I don't have to have a relationship with that person if I choose not to.
Yeah.
Like I've gotten into my life too, where I'm like, my relationships are important. Like I've got limited time. Like, yes, I'm 46 years old, but my relationships with friends and with everyone in my life, I mean, I've got limited time. So I can't go and hang out with 90 people, right? So I've got to be very selective in who I hang out with. And it's not being a dick. It's not me being like, oh, I only like you and I don't like you and you. Dude, I've got so much time in my life left. And I've got a weekend here, like this coming in weekend. I'm like, I've got a fucking football game. I got a soccer game. I got a family reunion. I got a basketball tournament. I've got limited time. So, I kind of got to choose when I'm.
Yeah, if you choose to be an asshole to me, why would I fucking go out of my goddamn way to freaking spend that little bit of time that I have with you? You got this whole slew of fucking people that want to freaking spend time with you. Why would I give that shit up just for you who wants to be an asshole to me?
And in relative terms, like, you have a spouse that you have to balance it, but it's your time.
Yeah.
So how do you want to spend it? Like, you have to kind of negotiate that with your spouse because you have a partnership. But like at the end of the day, what you present or what you want to do should be what you want to do because it is your time.
Right.
There's nobody else. That's what Jesus basically like.
Yeah.
Look, it's mine. I'm not gonna waste it with you if you're gonna be like that. You know what I mean? And like, I think that's just a part of getting older. I've told this story before, but I had a client one time, and I tried to. He's like 80 something years old. I try to introduce him to another 80-year-old, and the guy goes, I got enough friends.
God damn.
And all of his friends are dying.
Yeah.
Right. So like, why do you want to get a new friend to have him die like 2 weeks later?
Right. Yeah.
And so like, you start to really, like you said, you start to really look in and go like, oh, like this is like important. You know what I mean?
Well, I just think we get to a point in our life where friendships, like I've fired a couple of friends in my life, you know, where I'm like, it's just not a fit, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not a fit. And I hate to say this, but I mean, like this dude, I mean, I met him when I was fucking 17 years old. We have been best friends for fucking
Since then.
Did you?
But here's the
Math
thing.
is hard,
Hey, dude,
y'all.
we've gone through periods of time, bro. We've gone through periods of time where
That was the fucking best. He's like, see, math on it is okay. We started when I was 17, and okay, and then
I was when he said fucking numbers,
and
you're
then how, and like,
all the time.
Josh, you're really not proving that you're good at numbers.
I know. I'm
But
really
hey,
good at I promise.
Hey, but also he doesn't drink at work, so that's a whole, you know what I mean? You don't drink at work, so like that's a whole different thing. Hey, what did you expect from like the guy that I admired as a waiter at Casa Olay? Like, I mean, we were gonna like have a good time. Hey, were you there the night was that a different job? Never mind.
No, damn. Flashbacks.
Hey, did you ever like fake roll your silverware? Where you put the napkins down
Piece of
below?
paper and no silverware.
Well, no, I mean,
Rude.
kind of. I mean, well, no.
No.
You
You
mean
know what
like
I'm
not
talking about, right?
roguish?
Oh yeah.
So where
You
it was
sit
like
there,
it
at
was
the
like
end of the night, you have enough silverware rolled, and you're not really rolling silverware. You're just sitting there running your fucking mouth, and then freaking they're like, "All right, y'all can go." Like, cool.
No,
bye. We
I'm a
bounce.
fucking rule follower.
no.
dude.
It's like you're trying to smuggle a knife into prison, and so you roll like a bottom row, and then you roll like side rows, and then you put the napkins in the middle, and then you roll a toe over the top.
No.
Oh man,
Dude, hey.
I don't know who did that. I heard about people that did that kind of stuff. Not me. I was too. Apparently, Josh didn't know anything.
Hell yeah.
No.
Bullshit.
Hey, bullshit! You check people's silverware. Nobody ever did that.
I don't fucking know. I
You didn't? Did you check people's silverware?
didn't get, no.
Yes, you did.
If I did, I was like, whatever, you're good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would check the top row, I'd be like,
Hey,
tap, 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 tap.
Josh is the kind of guy you want on head
Yeah,
shit.
dude, I'm
'Cause
like,
he'd be like,
I got you, bro.
Hey, do you stop working? Roll
You
your
gonna
silverware?
bring me that
Yep.
Zima?
You're like,
Yes,
okay, I'll
yes.
see you at the party later.
Are you gonna bring me that Zima?
No
All right,
shit.
cool.
As long as you get out
Oh
here
my
before
God.
9 o'clock and go get me a handle, you're good.
Oh.
Okay.
We digress. The
So
numbers.
there's just 6 kids total. But like, I mean, there's a lot of families. There's a lot of like marriages and divorces, and then you have your whole blended family
Yeah.
with your new wife, right?
Right.
I mean, why I keep saying new wife? Your current wife.
Yes.
I apologize. I don't even know you.
Current and present.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like the one he's with now. I mean, like, who else? What else would I be talking about? I'm talking about her. You know what I'm saying? So,
Shout out to Nathaniel. Love you, girl.
He calls her Nathaniel. I don't know why.
Hey,
her son calls her Nathaniel, and she's like, "What the fuck, dude? Why you call me?" G calls him that.
Hey, does she like G?
She loves G. Dude, I'll go to bed, and her and G will sit in the fucking hot tub and talk till 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
It's the fucking coolest thing.
That's my little buddy. No, seriously.
It's really cool for my. You know what's cool is for my wife, my fucking person, to be close to my best friend, my person.
Yeah.
That's the fucking coolest thing. That's what you want, man.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't have to fucking be there, and they can have a relationship that's a relationship. You know?
I think that you tell me if I'm wrong. I think that shows security in a relationship.
Oh, totally.
No.
You know what I mean? Like that, like hey, these are like I have friends like that. Like I have friends
Right.
like that where like we go like a buddy would like, hey, can you walk my wife back to like her room? Blah blah
Right.
blah. Because she's drunk or she wants to go home. And like
Right.
I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going home. I'll take her or whatever. Or
Yeah.
like, oh, we're gonna go out together and do blank or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
And I think that's like really great. Like I think that's and probably on some level having a blended family, like you learn that kind of like
You learn trust.
Trust.
well, and you learn that relationships aren't in a vacuum, right? Okay, so like we're divorced now. All right, I hate you too. We're divorced. Can't be friends anymore. You know what I mean? And there are times where you can. There are times where it's not healthy, but there are times where it can be healthy, right? Or it can be a positive thing like you've experienced, right?
For divorced? What
No.
do you mean? What do you? Explain. I'm sorry.
I guess what I'm saying is that like sometimes when people get divorced, like how? Okay, let me ask this: how were your parents as divorced parents? Like were they good? Like they communicate well?
Of course, yeah. I mean, because we all hung out. I mean,
Yeah,
so,
but you understand like that's not the experience for everybody.
Oh no.
Yeah, and so I'm saying that like you kind of like you learn these skills, right? And like if you
Right.
don't have them, it can be very, very bad.
It can be very hard. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. It's yeah.
I tangented off.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to talk about that. I mean, it's
easier for some than for others.
Yes.
So
Yeah, it's-
right now, me and my newly formed ex-wife are learning this skill, and I know that now I have to be better at fucking staying the fuck away from her.
You have to set a boundary.
Yeah, we have to set.
You have to have a lot of patience too with the person that you don't necessarily want to have patience with.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And so what Josh is alluding to is that friggin' for some people it's easier too because you're a little bit more mature in your thought process than some people. And then it doesn't matter if it's 9 years, 9 days, 9 hours, 9 months, 9 weeks. It doesn't matter. It just as long as it's going to happen, just let it grow out, let it have time.
All right, I have a question.
Cool.
You can tell me if you don't want to answer. I don't think it's a bad question. So, in someone that comes from a blended family, is in a blended family, and knowing that not everybody has the same maturity and stuff like that, if you wouldn't mind saying, like, how do you try to go about handling stuff that can be people maybe not as mature or not as versed or having more difficulties? Like, how do you try to make the right decisions, have as much peace as you can, good decisions for your kids? Like, how do you try to like maneuver that when not everybody has done the work like you and your current wife have?
I mean, it's hard, dude.
I say current. I didn't say no.
That's a hard fucking question. I mean, it's. I mean, I try to be mature as I can, but sometimes it's hard when you deal with your ex.
I think that's totally normal though.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Agreed.
I mean, there is a small reason why y'all are exes, right? So like, there's gonna be a level of like shit ain't gonna always go right because that's why you're not together anymore. But the smoother you can try to make that, and just try to try really hard to think about all the people involved, right? The smoother you can make that and protect probably your wife from any of her bullshit, right? Like I'm assuming like you have to, not necessarily you, but like if someone were to come at you, your ex-wife would come at you, you have to be the defendant of your current wife, right?
Right.
Because that's your relationship you're in now.
Right. Dude, it's really fucking hard.
Yeah.
Hey,
I mean, it's...
Hey,
it's,
wait. But does everybody hear that? It's really fucking hard.
I mean,
Like,
it really is fucking hard. I mean, you can try to work shit out. You can try to co-parent. You can try to do different things. The problem is you've got emotions from fucking 19 years ago that are still there.
Yeah.
That make it very hard to co-parent. And it makes it hard, dude. And but you as a parent, I've got to look at my kids, and what I don't want is them to fucking look at this and say, my mom and dad fucking hate each other. That's what you don't want.
Right.
You know, even though that may be kind of what's happening, you don't want that, because you know what that does? It creates insecurities for them. It creates, you know, all these things for them that you don't want that to be a thing.
I would say, did you experience that or no? Because your parents did have a good relationship, or was there some level?
No, I mean, it was kind of weird, dude. Like when they got divorced, I mean, like they were like, we're divorced, but we're all going to get together next week for fucking Christmas. We're like, what the fuck? It was the weirdest fucking divorce I've ever had in my life.
Well, you only had two, so.
Well, no, I'm talking about my parents. I'm talking about my parents.
Okay,
like when they got divorced, I'm like, you know,
But is that
married.
not incredibly unique? When you say that's incredibly unique,
I had just gotten married, like literally a week in. They didn't want to tell. No one wanted to tell me that my parents were having marriage issues. So I had just gotten married, and a week later, my brother's like, "Hey, mom and dad are getting divorced." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
So they just come to the wedding and everything.
They came to the wedding. They were fucking dancing together. I'm like, sweet. They were the marriage. Like when I looked at marriages, I was like,
that's what I want.
That's what I want. They were kind to each other. They would wake up early in the morning. They'd read the paper together. They'd laugh. Like I saw their marriage as something that I wanted. And then I just got married. And then boom, a week later, they're fucking getting divorced. It fucking rocked my world.
No, right. Because I'm assuming when you got married the first time, that's what you wanted to emulate, right?
Totally.
Right.
Totally.
And so then to have what, like, you're like, okay, I got married, and they're married, and then like a week later, like they're divorced. Like what? Like that's
Dude,
that's what I'm trying. Like what? Nobody told me it's gonna go like that. You know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying? Like my parents, God bless if you are listening. Like they never really fought in front of me. So like I really grew up in a world where I was like, oh, like people don't fight, and so to have struggle.
So you never grew up in blended at all.
No. My parents are still married.
Got it.
Yeah, just.
That's great, though. But you know
what?
what?
Rub it in, motherfucker. Rub it.
But look. So like, but my dad is one of 7 kids, right? And they've all been married and divorced, and they've all gotten there's people got remarried. There's people who had kids. I mean, there's just people all over the fucking place. My mom was the only child, and my dad was like one of 7. So it's like, it's kind of like you, except it was the actual 2 separate people, and not you going to your mom's and then going to your dad's. You know what I mean? But it's kind of that same thing. So I grew up where I go to my cousins, and I would go do this, and we just like, there's gonna be all these fucking people there, and then I would go hang out with my grandma because there was just my grandma and my grandpa. That's it. You know.
Yeah.
So do you feel like now being were you married? Or no, you weren't married.
I was married.
So do you feel like it's kind of like hindered you and like kind of like how you deal with divorce? Meaning you came from a family that doesn't get divorced, that wasn't divorced.
Yeah, well,
does it mean like is it hard to like?
Well, I mean,
figure out that shit.
Well, like it was, yeah. I mean, because there's like really nobody I can talk to about it. There's nobody like my brother's still married, my parents are still married. So in my immediate circle, there's no one to talk about it. I'm the first failure, or what?
It's not a failure, bro.
Hey, look at that.
I disagree.
Hey, don't you?
I disagree.
No,
with
listen.
that.
No, listen.
I'm reading a book that says it's not. You shouldn't freaking view it as failure.
No, it is not a failure.
Are we having like an intervention right now?
Fuck yeah, we are.
No, listen.
Oh yeah.
When I say, I don't necessarily mean failure. What I mean is, because I read some books. Like, I mean, I'm totally fine with what my path has been. It would be not a failure, but just you just.
It was a blip, dude. It was a blip.
You don't. It's just. I mean, it's just like graduating high school. It's just like going to prom. It's just like, I had to wrap my. I said this before. I had to wrap my mind around what my wedding day meant. Because I'm now divorced. Like, so this really wonderful day that we had, like now, like what does that mean? Like, because that was fucking awesome. And I was like, yeah, that day was awesome. That day was awesome. Kind of sucked that I had to get divorced, but that was that day. So then what you said gotta wake up the next day. Gotta start over. How do you reset your brain? How do you reset your brain? And like, I just had to do that a little bit more frequently and with a little bit more effort and a little bit more intent because it was much harder at that time.
Right. Okay.
But there was a couple things I could have done better.
Dude, we could all be better fucking husbands and better dads.
But I think
we all can, man.
Everything you said about kind of what you learned and like how it made you a better dad, blah, 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 whatever. I agree with all that stuff. Like, I'm way more aware of things. Even though me and my girlfriend aren't married, I treat her like she's my wife, right?
Right.
Because she is the mother of my child.
Right.
And you just when you have to have in a relationship like that where there's like children or you're married or what, when there's that, you have to have just like this really healthy level of respect and then like try not to take too much shit personal. You know what I mean?
Did you say your girlfriend is the mother of your child?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Oh, not your. Okay. I'm 100%. I'm 100% now.
No.
Okay.
I got divorced.
Uh-huh.
And then I moved my girlfriend from 10 years prior into my house, and then I got her pregnant. And then, Jerry Springer did not call, and I was very disappointed.
So, okay, I smell what you're stepping in, brother.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it now. I'm good. I'm on board now.
So tell me, okay, let's talk a little bit about like your kids and them getting you into like sneakers.
All right.
So he's obviously wearing the Kobe Grinches, right? So like I was kind of asking you when we were kind of taking a break. You said you did that because like your kid's into it, that's how you relate to them. Does it feel cool? Does it feel cool for them to like dress dad and have him have, like,
I think I'm like kind of cool dad. I'm like, listen, I'm dad. I'm 46-year-old white male, fucking too fat, need to lose some weight, dad. But when I started to like get,
I thought dad bods were hot. I thought that was like a hot.
Yeah, maybe.
People like them.
I could probably lose 30. But you know, for my boys, I mean, they all like shoes, and so that was important to them. And so I started like, you know, I'd have a few cocktails. I'm like, oh, I'd order something from StockX. It would show up, and they're like, dude, what the fuck, man? Dad, I wanted this shoe.
So did they want those and you cop those?
Kind of, a little bit. But it was also like, you know, it was, I don't know. I liked them. Yeah. I mean, I would normally not wear these shoes in a normal working environment. But I think they're kind of cool, man. They're different. They got a little fucking scale on them, whatever. So I've now bought about 10 to 12 shoes.
You said you like Yeezys, right?
I like, dude. I know they look kind of weird, but dude, they're the most comfortable shoes I've ever had in my life.
They're really comfortable.
They are.
Yeah. So
I've learned though, it's not about the shoes. It's also about the fucking socks. I can't wear Reebok. I can't wear Nike socks with my. At least the kids say this. I guess that's not true.
No, you're absolutely. I feel like I know where you're going, but I'm just waiting for you to finish. Insulted you even bring it up. No, Josh. You cannot wear other shit with other shit. You wear Nike shit with Nike shit, Adidas shit with Adidas shit.
I did not know that. So,
but I will say, I wear Under Armour with everything else. So like, fuck Under Armour. like I wear Nike shoes with Under Armour because I don't like. I mean,
your socks have brand names?
Fuck yeah, dude. I've got Nike. I've got Adidas. Yeah, man. You gotta line it up.
I like that G doesn't give a shit. And he's just like, I'm rolling into these Pumas. I don't give a fuck.
Hell yeah.
He's like,
I got Pumas with
nothing. With Walmart brand fucking socks.
Hey, I wear Walmart brands. Well, not Walmart brand, but I wear Walmart socks.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about, and it's true.
Hey, I think we represent probably the three levels of extraness, which is you not being extra at all, Josh being kind of extra, and me being super extra.
Super duper extra.
Yeah. I'm okay with extra.
Well, really quickly, what's the shoe that you have your eye on? What do you want to get? Let's do it.
I don't have one yet. I don't, I say that.
Do you do Jordans?
I do Jordans, and there was two Jordans I tried to buy, and then I tried to buy it, and it got canceled. I can't remember the fucking name, dude. So
Jordan, you know what model it was?
No. Unfortunately, I don't. So good. No. I can't remember. But the cool thing is that what I like about it is both my boys care about shoes. We have a host kiddo that plays soccer that cares about shoes. So when I walk in and I've got Kermit the Frog fucking green shoes that represent, fucking the new soccer team, and they're Kermit the Frog, they're like, dude, those are cool shoes, dude.
I like 'em.
I'm like, fuck you. I got a yes from a fucking 17-year-old. They think I'm cool.
I think it's a really different world. Like it's almost like our parents didn't have to be cool because like they were like, well, we don't, fuck you, we don't need to be cool.
Yeah.
But somewhere along the way, because of like kind of how we are, social media, everything that happens, it's almost like now parents got to be cool.
Well, you got to be cool, but
You gotta
reason.
be knowledgeable. You have to be knowledgeable because our parents knew what the fuck we were doing.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know what the hell they're.
Yeah, we have no idea unless you're fucking cool with them.
You know the hardest part for me being a parent of a teenager?
Tell me. Wait, are you talking about your daughter or your son?
No, my daughter, I'm like, she can't do shit. She's not allowed to do shit.
Mm.
Our sons, no, sorry. I mean, I'm like super strict.
Yeah.
They're like, no,
Yeah.
you cannot.
Well, I mean, I have a girl. Is that going okay?
No, I mean, dude, it's the hardest thing in the world to be a dad of a daughter.
Do you?
When you're, yeah, it's hard.
Look, I've already told my theory, but do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
This is my theory. Everything that I know about being a douchebag, I'm gonna tell her, so that she know. I used to pick up chicks. Like, I mean, so like this is what you're looking for. Like, I'm a spy for the other team because I feel like I can't be everywhere, but I can arm her with the knowledge of what a piece of shit dudes can be. You know what I mean? That's my only theory. That's the only thing I've come up that seems like logical that work. Because you can tell someone to not do shit all day long, and they will do shit if they want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, it's.
But hey, I'm up for advice. I'm up for daughter advice all the time.
I've had a hard time being my advice. I couldn't. You know what? My advice for my daughter has not been probably great.
She sounds like she's a pretty good kid, right?
No, she's a great kid.
Yeah.
I'm just saying though, like when it comes to relationships, I mean, here's the thing with Natalie, with Kennedy and I, right? We have a great relationship.
I think it's good.
I love that she has moved back in the past couple of weeks. Like, she's moved back into the house.
That's
so
good.
it's like bonus time to hang out with her, right?
Do y'all talk? She communicates?
We talk. We have a great relationship.
Hey, what else do you want?
No, that's it.
That's
I
it.
mean, dude, I'm like, if my daughter can like reach out to me as a 20-year-old dude, I don't think I ever talk to my fucking parents. So if I can hear from my daughter once a month, I'm fucking happy, dude.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I maybe talked to my parents at Christmas and maybe fucking my birthday. That was it. So
And you talk to them all the time now, right?
now I talk to my parents all the time.
Yeah,
I try to embed it in all my kids. You call us every fucking holiday, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's goddamn Columbus Day. I want to fucking hear from you.
Yeah.
Look at you. Look
I
at
tried to. I know, right?
Old man, get off my
Columbus
lawn.
Day.
Yeah.
But so I mentioned earlier, like the struggle with being, like a parent of boys.
Right.
So you want to be cool, but you also want to be a parent, right? But you also want to acknowledge that your kids are going to maybe drink, maybe smoke weed,
Yeah.
maybe stuff, right?
Yeah. It's
how
out
do
there.
How do you become a good parent to not disregard it, but also acknowledge that this is not good for you right now, right? So our household is this. If you're going to drink, you got to ask us about it. If your friends want to drink, we have to talk to their parents, and we have to get them approved. They have to approve that they can drink, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want them to go drive somewhere and they fucking crash and kill themselves, and so the parents have to approve.
So you talk to the parents.
Talk to the parents.
Lots of communication.
And they can drink with us, right? So we allow our kids to drink with us. There's no driving, right? So they cannot drive. They leave their keys, and we don't want them to do drugs. So we do a drug test on them. I know, crazy, right?
I mean, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
what is your personal feeling about that? Or can you tell me your personal feeling?
No, I mean, I don't have a problem with. So here's the thing. I don't have a problem with. I know when I was in that age, I drank, experimented drugs.
What year was this? When was this? Like when I knew you?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
92, 93.
94. But this was also post high school, so we got high school kids right now.
Well,
so there's a difference.
Yeah.
So in Natalie and I's minds, we kind of draw a line with you're in high school still. When you're in college
I think
and
that's
you're
fair.
an adult,
I think that's
when
fair.
When you're an adult, listen, if you want to go fucking try stuff, you can try stuff.
Yeah.
But as in high school, we just want you to be smart. So if you want to experiment with alcohol, we're cool with that. We don't want you to experiment with drugs yet.
Please.
That's our thing.
Yeah.
When you turn 18 and you want to make your decisions, you can make your decisions then. So that's our thing.
I think that's I think it's a very reasonable. It's very reasonable.
I mean, we let our kids have a drink with us, right? I mean, like most parents are like, no, you can't fucking drink.
Well,
so we were like, yes, you can have a drink with us. You can.
And again, that kind of stuff is not big in other countries. They don't think about that in other places a lot of times, right? Like it's just kind of very much kind of what kind of happens, you know. It's just here.
It is. I think Natalie and I both we probably struggle with it together. Like I'm probably more lenient about it than she is. She's probably like, I'm not cool with this at all. And I'm like, it's fine. I'm like, in my head, they're gonna fucking do it anyway. I'd rather them do it in our house or be controlled.
A little practice.
Yeah, but when you say
no, it's like practice. It's like fucking practice. Practice?
When you
talk about practice.
When you talk about other countries, you talk about the other countries that don't have the freedoms or the freaking roadways or the dangers that we have. Also, you talk about people in Italy that they have open drinking, right? But they don't have the goddamn freeways that we got, right? That their kids can get on and fucking start.
We require a lot more responsibility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot more responsibility that goes along with that 18-year-old getting behind the fucking wheel and driving in Italy than it does in Austin, Texas. You can go and friggin' murder some damn body if you let somebody go get drunk, an 18-year-old get drunk at your house and go get all fucked up and then drive down 79 and then kill somebody. But in freaking Italy, you might hit a goat, who gives a fuck?
Hey, all I can help but think is like Amish people can't drink, right?
They shouldn't drink.
No, but can they?
They shouldn't, but they can do a lot of things. Did you ever see
all I was
Amish
thinking
Mafia?
is like, well, like, if you're Amish and got drunk, you're just gonna drive, like, you're gonna be driving your donkey. How fast can you go? Like, you ain't gonna hurt nobody.
Is it gonna stop by itself?
We're going 18 miles an hour.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if you fell asleep, that donkey just take your ass straight home, wouldn't he? He knows where he's going. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Like, you got a designated driver. Yeah, his name's George. It's my fucking donkey.
Hell yeah.
So how I usually like to wrap this thing up, Josh, is we're talking about like all like your blended family stuff and like how much like kind of pressure it is on that, kind of all those things. So what do you do to make yourself the best version of Josh so that you can be good for all like this extended people, like these 9 families that you have to support emotionally, apparently. No. So how do you make yourself the best version of Josh? What do you do to really kind of try to be your best person?
All right.
Tell us the secret of Josh.
There is no secret of Josh.
Well, I think you said earlier you were like I have to know when to take time for myself. Like I have to know when I need a break. I have to know what I need like at certain times so I don't act like blank or I don't do blank.
Right, but in my opinion, that has nothing to do with blended families or anything.
Okay.
That's just being a human being. Like, you got to realize that sometimes you're off and just give yourself a break. Like,
so what do
step
you do?
away.
What do you do when you break? When you give yourself a break, when you're off, like what do you do? Like what do you do?
I go brainless. Like I do fucking stupid. I play backgammon on my fucking phone.
No, I think
backgammon. I became a very old motherfucker, but that's what I do. Like I do brainless.
I started listening
shit.
to classical music. What the fuck's that about? Like
I know what I do. Like we bought a lake house a year ago. Fortunate enough to be able to like do that. This past Tuesday, I had the worst fucking day at work ever. And at 4:30, I fucking took a jet ski out, grabbed a 6-pack of White Claws because I like White Claws. Go Zima! And you know what I did? I found a fucking cove and I played some 311.
Punk ass motherfucker, dude.
And you know what? I fucking had a better day, man. It was silence. It wasn't just 311. I played fucking other music. But I felt great though. You know what? I found a way to like say I had a pretty shitty day, But I left that day, and for an hour and a half, I went on the water, and I came home a happy husband.
Well,
You know?
you recognized that you needed a break.
Right.
You did something that you do to like recharge or kind of just recharge your
Right.
batteries. So instead of like having a shitty day and coming home and being a shitty husband,
Right.
you had a shitty day, reset yourself,
Right.
and came home and been a good husband.
Right.
Right. But no one was going to tell you to do. You had to do that.
Right.
You had to go. I need this. This is important so
Right.
that I can be better.
Exactly.
And that's that thing right there. That's the hard part. That's the hard part of going like because it can feel selfish at times, right? Like I'm being very selfish, but
Exactly.
I'm assuming nobody needed you,
Nope.
and you had nothing you needed.
And
to do.
Natalie's like, dude, go.
Go.
You had a bad day, dude. Go.
But hey, but she was supportive of that,
She was supportive.
right? Because she understands you needed that,
Right.
And do you do that for her?
Yes, of course,
course you
dude. Of course.
But I know, but like you
know,
you
she's
say
like,
you
shitty
say this like
day.
everybody knows this
I
shit.
know, but
not everybody
but you
knows
know what?
this.
I probably wasn't the best husband my first round in marriage, you know?
But
like
you learned that, didn't you?
But I've learned now, like, what's important to be a good husband, to be a good dad, to be a good boss, to be a good fucking loan officer to my clients.
Be a
like,
good human.
Just be a good human, dude. Like,
Right.
be good to people, man. That's what
Be a
it's
good
about,
friend.
right? Good friend. Good best friend.
Mo-
Love you, buddy.
Moderately good friend.
Moderately good friend.
Moderately good friend.
But, you know, I mean, I kind of come back to our first part of the conversation. Be genuine in every relationship you have. Because dude, we're only on this earth for a small period of time. And if you're not genuine and real with people, if you're going to be fake, fuck you. But be real. Be real with your emotions, how you feel, and
Let me ask this real quick, and tell me if this doesn't make sense. Have you ever not been Josh?
no, dude. I've always been me.
Yeah.
Always.
And that's I think a lot of people really don't experience that. That when I said earlier, I was like, this is something that's new to me. Just being me, right? Being exactly who I am. That's brand new to me. You've been doing this this whole time. You know what I mean?
But I wasn't taught this, right? I mean, I wasn't taught to be genuine. I say that, you know, I mean, my parents should just be real, like always be real, be real.
But I think because your parents got divorced, they had to do that, and that was a really good scenario in which that happened, and that sets you up for good scenarios in the future. You know what I mean? Like it set a positive intention. If your parents had been ugly to each other, the whole path of everything that you experienced could have been totally different.
Totally.
But because they weren't, because they were good parents. Like me and my girlfriend talked about, like, what if our relationship doesn't work out? What are we going to do as parents? We discussed that before we decided to, try to get on Jerry Springer. Right? Like, we decided before she got pregnant, we'd like, what would we be like as parents if we weren't together? I want to do this. I want to do this. I care about you. We had to just talk about that. You know what I mean? But nobody talks about that.
Right.
You know? And so it's like, I don't know. It's good communication.
Yeah. Dude, it's honesty.
Yes.
Honesty in every relationship. Like my friendship with LaShawn, G, has been honest the entire 25 years, right?
Yeah.
My relationship with my wife, honest. I mean, if you don't have an honest relationship, why have a relationship? I mean, it's just not worth it.
That way you want to,
And with my kids, right? Like I want a genuine relationship with my kids. Like, I want my kids to like fucking want to call me on Father's Day, like want to call me because they're like, Dad, I miss you.
They don't
like,
question y'all's relationship.
No.
They know exactly who you are.
Right.
Because you are exactly you.
Right.
All the time.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. All right, before we go, I have no idea why we call you G. Like I know your name. I know you as G, and then I know your name is Sean. But I don't. So can you tell really quickly why your nickname is G?
My name is LaShawn Govan Thomas.
Oh.
Yeah. And my sister had a speech impairment when she was little. She couldn't pronounce L's correctly. Mm-hmm. So they just took the L out. It was supposed to be LG. Mm-hmm. So it's always been just G.
That is the coolest fucking nickname fucking ever. Fucking ever. I remember working at Casa Ley and we'd go to parties, you'd be there, and I'm like, that guy's name is G. It's just the coolest nickname. Anyways.
My name is LaShawn. They call me G.
They come in G.
Hey, did you have a good time, bro?
Dude, it was great. And, you know, I'll be honest, I was nervous. I mean, this isn't my thing. This isn't my thing to be on camera.
You're doing a great job so far.
No, I mean, I appreciate that. I mean, but as a genuine dude, I'm like, as a genuine guy, I'm typically very reserved. Like, I don't like when you said I was a cool dude, like, I wanted to fucking hide my face. Like,
well, and that's why
it's not my thing. Like,
well, that's why I asked, because like that was my perception. I want to know like if that's what you were just putting. I mean, you were just being you, though. It sounds like you were just being you,
me.
and that's cool. That's cool that you. No, I mean it is like it's like the ability to be yourself is the coolest thing you can do.
Yeah.
But you got to really be yourself.
You have to be real, man.
You have to be really, really honest with yourself and who you are and who you're not,
Yeah.
right? To be cool, I guess. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Like, it's also very refreshing to know that, like, everything I saw from you as a person wasn't fake. That was real. That was you. Because a lot of people fake that whole thing,
Yeah.
right? You know what I mean? So that makes you even cooler.
I like that.
Yeah. All right, man. When we get out here, make everybody give me a hug.
All right.
Push that mic out so you don't like that G getting in the fucking over
cool.
here.
Oh,
Like,
sweet.
Right.
Good.
Oh, thank you for doing this. Yes, love you. Thank you for doing this. Hey, thank you for doing this. Yes, absolutely. Thank you.